boys and girls, welcome to the ESR Mini Endurance Round 3 Mazda dots per inch and Grand Theft Ectoplasm at Sepang General Practitioner. I am very attractive, and with me as always is the Elix skipper of Vega, Michael Magus.
I feel like you're actually learning, because I think you almost said GP or Grand Prix there, which is the actual what GP means.
I meant to say General Practitioner. I messed up.
That's what I mean. I think the racing vernacular is actually slowly floating into your system.
Well, I was going to say Grand Theft Auto earlier, but the E is not automatic.
We're wrapping up qualifying here with Tobias Thierolf currently on pole position from Kovac. Do we remember his first name? I don't remember his first name.
Kovacs, I believe it is Julio.
It's definitely not Julio.
Could be Jesper.
Third place, we have Vanderbroek. Fourth place, Andy Darnell. Fifth place, Vic Vega. That is your top five in the prototype category with the Mazdas. And in the GTE category, it is Grot from Basaraba, Magic Kaszczuk, Jeff Ecott, and Timo Ryder.
Good old Jeffrey Cott.
There's always that whole thing with, like, we have a race car driver in ESR named T. Ryder, and there's a hockey player with the name T. Ryder, and I mix them up all the time.
What about Isaiah Ryder?
Ooh, Isaiah Ryder. Let's see, was I right? I was right! Timo! Janos and Rune were the other two first names I was unaware of, and Vadim and Christian.
Janos,
so there's our grid. Tobias Thierolf will start ahead of Janos Kovac, Rune Vandenbroek, Andy Darnell, Vic Vega, Yuri Kutachvil, Adam Komorowski, and then in the GTE category is Christian Grot, Vadim Basaraba, Magic Kaszczuk, Jeff Ecott, Timo Ryder, Yanni Ua, Steve Davidson, Jan Vasco. There you go, Vasco. Mauricio Delgado, James Butler, and Andy Foster. We haven't seen Andy Foster in a hot second.
Is that Vasco da Gama?
Don't believe so. So, a couple of newcomers to the grid. That's cool. So, a quick apology to the drivers racing. I've not done the stewarding yet for the prior round of this event, so there's some pending penalties to be handed out. The reason is that last week I had a throat infection, and it made talking and recording anything really unpleasant.
Yeah, that was a weird week. I completely lost my voice for a few days, and then spent the rest of the week trying to desperately get it back. And Mio straight up got his neck infected.
It's not good. It's not a good time. Cleared up more or less now. The antibiotics have done their work. The neck is back to normal size, and which is very girthy for me.
Swole, and he's super glad.
Oh, we also have Jasper Vandervaart in the grid today, but he did not make a qualification lap. So 60 minutes with one pit stop, endurance rules, multi-class rules in effect. The Mazdas are not racing the GTEs because, let me put it this way, Mike Stoffel, the legend of ESR, probably could not beat me in a GTE if I was driving a Daytona, a Mazda prototype. That's the speed difference we're talking about between these two cars. And we are off with the green flag. Thierolf leading the way in the red car, followed by Kovac, followed by Vandenbroek. I like Vandenbroek's livery. The pink is the pink highlights do it for me. Trying to go down the inside of Kovac. Oh, 3 wide!
Oh my goodness!
And in the background, James Butler in a little bit of trouble. At the front, Vandenbroek has come out ahead of Thierolf, but Thierolf is fighting back. It is a three-way battle for the lead, and it is going to be Thierolf leading the way from Vandenbroek, from Kovac, from Vic Vega up to fourth place. Then it is Andy Dardell, Kratachville, and Komorowski. The prototypes have gotten through fine. Christian Grot leads in the GTE category from Vadim Basaraba, Magic Kaszczuk, Jeff Ecott. Good start for, was it Jan Vasco? I believe it was. He's up to fifth place ahead of Timo Ryder, Steve Davidson, Mauricio Delgado, Yanni Ua, the big faller, dropping 3 spots. Jasper Vandervaart is up 2 spots, and then Andy Foster and James Butler bringing up the rear as Vic Vega has a little bit of a netcode moment and loses fourth place. Might also lose fifth place to Yuri Kutachvil. Yes, he will.
Oh my god.
Oh, little bit of contact there. I'm not sure who that WeatherTech Porsche is. Looking to see who might be dropping back. That might be Jeff Ecott. Dropping back a little bit. So we are back to be the voices, to call the action here, and we're happy to be back.
Indeed. Spent one day not being able to talk at all, flat out, period, couldn't make a sound. Day 2...
it was still terrible on day 2.
Yeah, day 2 was... I sounded like a retarded baby moose. And day 3, I only sounded like I should be put in a home for the elderly.
Yes, that is an accurate description. I think comparatively I didn't sound as bad, but it was gravelly. I have a recording of myself because I had to make a presentation at work, and there was no guarantee I was getting through it without like just breaking down into a cough. So I recorded like, I don't know, 5 minutes for it. And yeah, I've got a nice audio recording of how bad I sounded.
I sent a voice memo to my boss on day 3. She was like, oh my god. I'm like, yeah, this is like a 75% improvement.
It was worse. On board with Janos Kovac, he started on the front row and has fallen back to 4th place, having been overtaken by Van den Broek as well as Darnell. James Butler picking up a spot there over Andy Foster.
Maggle, how much donkey strength do you figure these cars have?
A lot.
Do you quantify donkey strength as being more superior to horsepower?
Well, horses are stronger than donkeys, so...
Are they?
I do believe they are.
But
Let's see. What is the horsepower on these things? You got me curious.
It's at least 3.
For the Mazda DPI, which is the prototypes we're looking at here, we are talking about a horsepower of 620 brake horsepower.
It's not bad.
In the GTE category, let's have a look, see here. There you are. We have the BMW, we have the Porsche. Oh, Kovac going for an overtake. We'll cover that. And for now, I think Darnell's got him held off. The BMW comes in at 592 brake horsepower, and the Porsche is 610. So the horsepower is actually pretty similar between the GTEs and the prototypes. It's just the prototypes are much lighter.
And how does that translate into parakeet energy?
I don't think we want to talk about parakeet energy.
It's at least 4,000, I think.
Oh, Yanni, you pimping out his YouTube channel there in the team name. Go check it out, everybody.
Like, comment, and make sure that those comments are very badly spelled, just because it'll be funny.
Oh, Yanni losing the back end a little bit there, and that will promote not only let Mauricio Delgado get away, but also promote Van der Vaart and Butler. Yuri Kachachvil in 5th place, and I do kind of like the American flag livery there from Timo Ryder, although a bit interesting. I guess that is definitely supposed to be an American flag.
Boycotting it.
It's a weird choice by Ryder, given that he is of German heritage.
Well, you know, the Americans, they are making some very interesting 19th cities type moves these days.
But they're also pro-Russia, which Germany is not down with.
Well, you know, there was the Ribbentrop Pact. Perhaps, you know, he's an earlier 30s type dude.
Somebody call Volkswagen. We are so back.
Yeah, well. That reminds me of the VW commercials back in the day with, oh my God, brain, why do you do this to me with names? Satan from Constantine.
Oh, Peter Stormare.
Peter Stormare made several very funny, very entertaining VW commercials back in the day. You know, YouTube looked at
contact between Jasper van der Vaart and Mauricio Delgado. I'm gonna have to side with Mauricio on that one. Not just because he is our master of charcuterie, but also I just think Van der Vaart was a little clumsy there.
Thou shalt not molest the yellow submarine, lest ye pay with position on the field.
Yeah, I think Van der Vaart was trying to get into a gap that just it just wasn't there. I guess in a nutshell is what I'm getting at. Peter Stormare, very, very good. For the record, this is way more sensical than how we usually get to the name that Byron is thinking. For the record, it normally gets very weird.
Was this about Julio?
Well, we got to Peter Stormare just from you naming like Devil and Constantine. Normally, we got to go through like some kind of weird 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon shit.
Oh, no, I knew who he was, and I could see him. I could see not only his part in Constantine in my brain, but also all of the VW commercials in my brain. And for some reason or other, I think if the first name had come to me, the last name would have just fallen in line.
Stunningly enough, whenever I think of Peter Stormare, and he's had a lot of great roles, fantastic actor, but the role that actually comes to my head is just the beginning of John Wick 2. My nephew stole a car. Currently part of our inventory.
I think of his stuff in Fargo.
That's true. That's true.
Unguent. And then I can't remember, he wants to go to the Waffle House, but doesn't know how to say it. Like Pancake Village or something like that.
He's very good actor. If you're not familiar with the name Peter Stormare, I assure you, you've seen him in something.
Hell yeah. Peter Stormare's the best. He's Rasputin in the Hellboy. At least I'm not wrong about that. Now I'm paranoid. Pretty sure I'm right.
You might be wrong about that. I don't think he was.
I'm looking it up. Hellboy 2004. I am wrong. It was Karel Roden, aka also another guy that you've definitely seen in stuff.
That does tend to be the case.
I remember he was the lawyer in Blade. Was it Blade 2, Blade 3?
Well, here.
But then they voiced over him with an English accent.
Most likely know Peter Stormare from. He was Lev in Armageddon.
There you go.
American components, Russian components, they're all made in Taiwan. Steve Davidson making an overtake happen over Timo Ryder, taking over 6th place in the GTE category. Ryder qualified quite well. Ooh, that's Adam Komorowski in a spin. Interesting. He was off on his own, so I can't imagine that anyone else was involved in that. If you want to watch a really good race at Sepang, find the F1 Grand Prix of Malaysia 2001. It has one of Murray Walker's best calls at the start of a race. It's just you get through the first couple of corners and they start just kind of running down the order like I did. And he's like, 1st place, Schumacher; 2nd place, Barrichello; 3rd place, Trulli; 4th place, Coulthard; 5th place, Frentzen; 6th place, at Arrows. How did that get there? He's like, Jos Verstappen started in 18th place and is in 6th. Very wet race, so it got weird. There was weird stuff going on in that race, and it was very entertaining. I always remember it as one of the better F1 races of the early 2000s.
What about the Outer Mongolian GP from 2003?
Also, side note, probably one of the best rookie classes we've had in a long time in F1, because racing for Sauber in his rookie season was a guy you know, Byron, Kimi Räikkönen.
Oh, yes.
And also for Minardi was a guy that I think everybody, just a little guy, you might have heard of him, Fernando fucking Alonso.
Sigma Alonso.
And for Williams, completing the rookie well, not even completing. There's some other ones, but another rookie in the category, Juan Pablo Montoya.
Oh my God, El Conquistador.
So you had 2 future world champions in that rookie class, and race winner Juan Pablo Montoya. The rest of the rookie class not so great. It was made up of Enrique Bernaldi, and I guess you could count Luciano Berti.
I found it. Carol Roden was the lawyer in Blade 2. That was the one where they voiced him over with an English accent. Another voice actor came in and did that. That's the one where Blade had the knockdown, drag out pro wrestling fucking slobber knocker hell beating crescendo fight.
Mm-hmm. The fight with Novak.
Yeah, that's the one.
Or Novak? Novak or Novak, I can't remember which.
Something. I think it was Steve.
It was not Steve.
Oh, my name's Steve the Vampire.
It's very Czech.
I'm having a look here.
Also had Ron Perlman and a rather underutilized Donnie Yen, if I may be honest.
Correct. Most underutilized on the roster. Verlaine.
And Norman Reese.
Indeed. And Tony Curran.
Also very underutilized. They killed him off real quick.
Nomak. There it is. Nomak.
I was right with my second guess.
Correct. The chick who played Verlaine does not have a picture on her IMDb. That is not correct. That's not good. Don't like that.
That is unfortunate.
I remember her being very attractive.
I mean, it's not as bad as the one guy in 13th Warrior who seems to have no other acting credits and randomly disappears during the movie only to appear alive at the end, and I still maintain that I think he overdosed on set or something. Like, it's just one of those weird things, because he lives, but he like disappears from like I'd say like second third of the movie. Basically, he's just not in it.
The lady who played Verlaine, that was her acting debut. She went on to have more acting credits for the next 6 years and then nothing ever again.
Jasper Van der Vaart continues to work his way through the field, putting the pressure on James Butler. Van der Vaart has been a top-end competitor, but he did not qualify today, so he's been working his way from the back. Van der Vaart finished in 5th place in the opening round at Road America and added a 10th place at Monza. And indeed, he will overtake Butler for 9th place. Pit window is open.
Again?
So as the pit window opens, we have Van den Broek leading by a very small margin over Tobias Thierolf, so the pit stops will be interesting between those two. But the rest of the prototype field, that is Darnell, Kovac, Kratachville, Vega, and Komorowski, they've kind of settled down and are kind of in their places. Christian Grott is quite a ways ahead in the GTE field, but there is some battles going on further down with the Basaraba and Magic Kaszczuk rounding off the podium, but Vasco is giving chase to Kaszczuk. And Jeff Ecott's not too far behind that, as well as Timo Ryder and Steve Davidson, who are in a good battle. And then that is Yuri Kratachville off the track.
Next time you are in Florida, make sure to go to the Ecot Center.
Yanni Ua overtaking Andy Foster to get out of last place. interesting note, this is James Butler's debut in the series. He's here so often, I just assume he's been in the series up until this point. But this is his debut.
Bottle.
On board with Janos Kovac as he tries to track down Andy Darnell for third place. So we have a good battle going on for first and a good battle going on for third. And Kovac trying to go around the outside. You can do that here. This track offers a lot of interesting overtaking opportunities. And he is going to get the job done. Oh, maybe not. Darnell comes back at him. And he'll hang on. Thierolf off the track somewhere. As well as Jasper van der Vaart. Those two things may be related, they may not be.
Have him killed immediately.
To recap how this season has gone so far, in the GTE category, Christian Grott was your winner at Road America as he won the race from Magic Kaschuk and Henrik Andreasen, who is not here today. And then he missed the Monza round, so he got no points from that race there. Thomas Ribeiro, who is not here today, won on that day ahead of Magic Kaschuk and Henrik Andreasen. So, by the principality of like showing up and taking second place, Magic Kaschuk is your championship leader. And in the Mazda prototype category, Tobias Thierolf has had 2 wins, but like he's been challenged at both of those wins. So that's good to see. He won at Road America ahead of Janos Kovac and Nicholas Campbell. And then at Monza, he took the win over Antonio Costa and Rune van den Broek, but he is obviously leading the championship. Oh, we lost James Butler from the race.
He has bottled off this mortal coil.
I'm going to guess an internet connection issue. Mr. Butler is known to have that country internet. Oh, Mauricio Delgado might be a pawn in this battle here. Nope. He says, I'm just getting out of the way. I'm just getting out of the way. You're not using me. I am not Ricardo Zonta. You cannot make me be. For those who are unaware, at the 2000 Belgian Grand Prix, we saw one of the greatest uses of lap traffic in the history of F1. So they were coming off of Eau Rouge, which I think even Byron knows what Eau Rouge is.
It's red.
Ooh. So they're coming off Eau Rouge onto the Camel Straight, and Mika Hakkinen and Michael... Oh, no! Yuri Kretschmel and Jeff Ecott getting into it. Oh, wait, no, that's Van den Broek! That's the race leader! No!
Power slide!
No, Jeff! No!
I will give you 1 spot back just based on style points.
Well, that puts Thierolf out in front. Van den Broek rejoins in 4th place behind Kovac and Darnell. That's unfortunate. Lapped traffic may have just decided the race right there. We got 40 minutes left, but that's a pretty big gap now.
You just try catching Tobias Thierolf with only 18 donkey strength.
Well, that's the thing, is trying to make up 7 seconds, 8 seconds more like, on Tobias Thierolf. That is a tough one.
You're going to have a hell of a pit stop, boy.
And is Kovac trying to make the move again? Anyways, back to my story. So, Mika Hakkinen and Michael Schumacher coming up the Camel Straight right towards where Ricardo Zonta's getting the blue flag. And Zonta, does the perfectly reasonable thing. He kind of hangs in the middle of the track. He's like, go ahead, pick your side, go around. And Schumacher picks the safe route as Kovac tries to go around the outside. He tried this before. It did not work. Can Darnell fight back? No. This time it will work, and Kovac is through.
Okay, am I retarded? Or can I not find Schumacher on the list? Why do you say Schumacher?
Because I was telling a story.
Oh. I missed, the first probably 3 seconds of what you were talking about. And
I'm talking about Michael Schumacher and Mika Hakkinen.
Mika Hakkinen? You mean the other of the 3 Finns that won an F1 title?
You are correct that there are 3 Finns that won an F1 title.
Correct.
And there are 4 with Finns who have won an F1 race. There you Actually, 5.
Wow.
Heikki Kovalainen is the forgotten about 5th Finn GP winner.
What about noted Finnish fisherman Tuvo, throw your line in?
Honorable mention to Mika Salo, who would have won the 1999 German Grand Prix if he didn't move out of the way and let Eddie Irvine take the win.
What's this about Sammy Salo?
Mika Salo was a Finnish race car driver in the mid 90s to early 2000s in F1. And he still does some other things. He's a steward now, actually. When Michael Schumacher broke his leg at the 1999 British Grand Prix by running into a wall and was forced out of the car, Salo inherited the Ferrari seat for the remainder of the season until Schumacher was able to stunningly return for the first ever Malaysian Grand Prix. It all ties together. And Salo was leading the German Grand Prix in like the closing laps. And because Eddie Irvine, his teammate, was in a title fight with Mika Hakkinen, he let him through. And as a result, Mika Salo could very well have been the 6th Finnish Grand Prix winner, which is kind of depressing that the tiny little country of Finland has produced 5 Grand Prix winners, 3 world champions, and could have had a 6th Grand Prix winner. That's insane.
It's 18 times more winners than Italy.
Actually, Italy is really... You realize that it has been since 1952 that Italy has won a Formula One world title?
I didn't know that specifically, but it did go down a rabbit hole about 4 or 5 days ago. Yeah. And that's why I know that there were 3 F1 champions from Finland.
Do you know who the 3rd one is?
I did. If you would have asked me like 2 days ago, I probably would have been able to tell you.
It was KK Rosberg.
Right. KK Rosberg, because all I can think of when you say that name is KK Downing from fucking Judas Priest.
And for the record, there is technically an unofficial 4th Finnish world champion.
Jacques Villeneuve?
Because in 2016, KK's son Nico won the F1 title. But Nico was born in Germany, unfortunately, so he is German.
He's a German.
But Finland will claim him.
As well they should.
KK Rosberg is easily the most tragic and unlikely F1 champion of all time.
Is that because he was secretly a Russian spy?
It has nothing to do with him. It's just the 1982 season was depressing. Like, oh my god. Stop dying, people?
It was fine.
Gilles Villeneuve died. Probably would have won the title if he didn't. And Didier Pironi did not die, but got into an accident that basically left him paralyzed from the waist down. And then later on died when he decided that power boating was a good idea.
Very nice.
But he would have won the title if he had not gotten into an accident that left him, partially paralyzed. And also Riccardo Paletti died that year.
What about Glenn Tipton?
Also, it's the season that has the record for most different winners in the history of F1. 11 drivers won races. KK Rosberg won the title with 1 win. One single win.
And why is Turbo Lover not playing at full volume right now? What the fuck?
On board with Rune Vandenbroek, who was leading the race, but is now in 4th place. By the way, pit stop's starting to happen. Vic Vega's been in to have his pit stop handled. He's good to go to the end of the race. As one of the BMWs gets lapped there. Also, gotta imagine that JJ Leto, if he didn't, screw up his neck and back, would have probably gotten some wins in the mid-90s, because he was supposed to be Michael Schumacher's teammate in 1994, and Schumacher won the title. So, presumably, JJ Leto could have showed us something. Instead, he more or less had his career ended in a testing accident.
Did he sprain his pinky toe?
No, neck. His neck got
Oh, the
up.
neck thing, right.
Went on to have success elsewhere, but that basically was it for F1. He came back a couple of times during 94 and kind of just got absolutely boxed by Schumacher. And the number of careers Michael Schumacher ruined is stunning. Are you ready for this story, Byron?
I am fully prepared. Oh, wait. Oh, let me take my pants off. Okay, now go.
So we're going back to the story to 1992.
Oh,
This
yeah,
is
baby.
Michael Schumacher's first full season as Yuri Kotachville recovers from a spin in F1. He is partnering with a guy named Martin Brundle at the Benetton team. Now, Brundle has what is statistically and by any metric his best season. He's in a good car. No, Rune! He's in a good car. He goes out there. He gets a bunch of podiums. Doesn't win a race, but a bunch of podiums. Finished 4th in the championship. Not 4th. He was like 5th. But at the end of the season, Benetton has a debate within its ranks. On one hand, you have Flavio Briatore, the team boss, who apparently doesn't understand that he has Michael Schumacher driving the car, if you understand what I mean. He thinks Martin Brundle is terrible and that Schumacher is actually not that good. And the problem is that Brundle is just not good. So they fire Martin Brundle. They bring in Riccardo Patrese. 1993, Schumacher absolutely takes his dick out and pisses all over Patrese in the head-to-head. And at this point, Briatore finally realizes, oh shit, I may have judged Martin Brundle too harshly.
Oh, shit. Judas Priest put out an album last year. I didn't know. I was not familiar.
Timo Ryder heading down pit lane. Jeff Ecott and Andy Darnell have served their pit stops as well. I don't like how we can't see Ryder's car. That implies some kind of internet issue.
I believe he has instituted stealth technology.
I mean, that's an option as well. On board with Jan Vasco. He is chasing a podium here against Magic Kaszczak, the championship leader. And up the road, it is Christian Grott still leading the way by a considerable margin over Vadim Basaraba. Basaraba is quite a ways ahead of Kaszczak, and then it is obviously the Kaszczak versus Vasco fight as Mauricio Delgado rejoins the festivities. Somebody in the pits there didn't recognize the livery. I think it might be Kovac. Andy Foster is still battling, or catching up and battling with Mauricio Delgado. Not really a battle. Foster still has to pit. Delgado has pitted, so essentially Delgado is a pit stop ahead. But, they can still have their fun. And into the pits comes Yuri Kotachville. Anyways, back to my story about Michael Schumacher, 2000 Grand Prix of Belgium. Oh, Timo, my friend, that is not the track. Going through the sand pit there. So Schumacher is currently leading the race. Mika Häkkinen's behind him. They're coming up to the blue flag, Ricardo Zontoff of Eau Rouge. Schumacher takes the, super conservative, safe line around the outside, heading into Les Combes. And Häkkinen is like, nope, I'm doing this. I'm punching through. I am pressing the red button. And I am going to go on the inside of Zonta and Schumacher, 3 wide into Les Combes, overtake Schumacher, lap Zonta, and take the race win. Boom.
And then there he was, skiing downhill next to Sonny Bono.
It's one of those moves that if it had not worked out, Hakkinen would have looked like a complete idiot. And but it did, so he looks like a genius.
Well done.
Jasper Van der Vaart rejoins the race behind Jeff Ecott. Actually, way closer to Ecott than he was when they were out before the pit stop. So, I think Van der Vaart has made up some significant ground here. Be interested to see how that works. Although, no, you know what? I think it's just Ecott has lost it because they're behind Ryder and Delgado. So, yeah, I take that back. I take that back, actually. You two both had bad pit stops. It's just Ecott's was that much worse. Timo Ryder appears to still be invisible, and that makes me a little nervous.
Knight Rider?
Jan Vasco in the pits.
That's a lot of.
So
I don't think that's right.
Timo Ryder appears to be under the track.
I think it's the left fourth from the rear piston is misfiring.
I think he's trying to submarine the submarine.
It's just like the Jaws theme. It's his own interpretation of the Jaws theme. Coming to get you, boy. Boom, da da da, boom, da da. It's like the T-Rex from Jurassic Park.
Yep.
We coming to get you.
We get a good battle between Jasper Van der Vaart and Jeff Ecott, it looks like. So that's good, I guess. As Mauricio Delgado okay, so Ryder's come out of the ground. All right, Ryder's back. All right.
Michael, I have something to show you that I will save until after the race.
Or not. I think that's Vasco, actually. So Ryder is still between Delgado and Vasco under the track.
Under the sea.
Confirmation. Timo, we swear we're not trying to make fun of you. It's just, it is.
No, I am. I don't. You know, I'm right there making fun of you.
It's not your fault that your internet is kind of let you down. Yanni Ua is in for the pit for his pit stop. We are only 3 people are vying for the Max Simmons Award. It is Rune Vandenbroek, Adam Komorowski, and Steve Davidson. Komorowski, I believe, has historically been the Max Simmons of this series, so he would be my pick. Do you have a pick, Byron?
Max Simmons.
Max Simmons will somehow come in with a chair.
He's currently sandbagging so hard that he's only going to come in for the final 3 races, take the whole championship.
Well, he's too late because there's only 2 after this.
You just wait.
Steve Davidson in the pits, so he is the Max Simmons of the GTE category, but Komorowski and Vandenbroek have yet to pit. I do like the black BMW factory livery, which if you don't know what it looks like, it's right there. we pick up Kovac, who is battling with Darnell. So they both have had their pit stop, and they are still at it. This is for what is effectively second place.
Arm pit stop?
Maybe third, depending on how fast Vandenbroek is doing right now, because Vandenbroek was in fourth place behind these guys. He's still out there. If he can make the overcut work, maybe he can overtake them and come out ahead when he's out of the pits. Let's see here. How far ahead is he? 37 plus 11 plus 4. So about 53 seconds right now. I don't know how long a pit stop is here, but I suspect it's in the neighborhood of 1 minute. So there is probably a need for him to pick up a couple more seconds. So we'll pay attention to that. He does seem to be pulling away from Komorowski. 48. Yeah, okay, he's pulling away, and they're fighting each other. So there's a chance that he might be able to eke out that gap that he needs.
Mike, I think what these cars needs is more fins.
Additional shark finage.
Indeed, not enough. Like, I mean, imagine the heat reduction you could have on your engine if you just put more fins on it.
Kovac was second place at the season opener at Road America and was fourth at Monza, so he's in that fight for second place, which is pretty heated up, but unfortunately Thierolf to date is kind of scampering away with this. Around the outside of Darnell, he has tried this move several times. He has made it work once. Can he make it work again? And the answer is yes. Kovac is through for what is a net second as we speak. Darnell looking to fight back. Nothing doing so far. Darnell's season has been a mixed bag. He's got a pair of sevenths to his name, but there seems to have been more on the table on both occasions, as Jan Vasco makes the overtake of Mauricio Delgado. Timo Ryder has overtaken both of them. I don't know if they're aware of that, because Timo Ryder is probably still in the ground somewhere. And Steve Davidson's now in on this fight as well, with Jasper van der Vaart not that far behind, and Jeff Ecott not that far behind him. Podium looks pretty set though, as Grot leads Kaschuk and Basaraba by reasonable intervals. Prototypes working his way through there on a lapping spree. That I think is Adam Komorowski working his way through this fight.
Komorowski? Who'd he ever beat?
He's done well. Actually, shout out to him. He was around my pace when I first ran into him. As Steve Davidson makes the overtake in the Tugas versus ESR Super Series. And since then, I would say that he's a fair bit faster than me. Part of that has been that I haven't been doing a lot of Raceroom, but part of that has also just been his own, to his credit, he's just been getting faster. And in fact, he is going to be the Max Simmons Award winner because Thierolf is in the pit lane. Or pardon me,
Manuel tragically had his legs amputated to create a new set of teeth from his leg bones.
So the pit lane apparently is much more than a minute because Vandenbroek ends up quite a bit behind. As for the nature of my hiatus, I did in fact have an injury. I picked up a torn quad muscle. Not fun. Wouldn't recommend it. Calf muscle, pardon me. Would not recommend it. So they had to go in there. They had to stitch it up. And they put me in a brace. And they gave me a cane. I bought a much more stylish cane. and went with it.
See the scene from House, where they play Highway to Hell as he walks into the place.
True. Well, admittedly, I didn't go into a store that had a bull penis game.
That would have been the move.
Komorowski in the pit lane, having secured the Max Simmons award. Kane did come in handy at my uncle's retirement party because there were some drunk people, and you know, the cane is handy. The cane is handy.
Did you whack people right across the back there?
There was some whacking.
Goddamn whacking! Yo, get out of my shit! Stop all.
There was some whacking. There was some poking. There was some hooking.
Mike is confirmed hooker.
Oh no, I never played hooker in rugby. Played many positions, but hooker wasn't one of them.
Too big.
I played prop. I played lock. I played flanker. And that's about it. That would be it.
I played lock, aka second row.
I think anybody who looks at you knows that you played lock.
Correct.
That's it's a dead giveaway.
There's two reasons. A, I am who I am, and B, my brother is who he is. And we played on the same team our whole high school career. And because literally no one else could play with each other, they were not built like us.
They were not built for this.
They were, well, I mean, there could have been some dudes, but there was a guy who played 8-man. And the only reason he played 8-man because he was not quite built like us. He just, he could have played with me, but he could not have played with my brother. My brother was just a little bit too big, and at that time he weighed way too much.
In shape, I would be best utilized as a flanker, but it all came down to what was the size of the team, basically. Where do you need me, coach?
I'm gonna put you on the wing and laugh.
Oh God, no! Don't put me on the wing. Don't put me on the
wing.
I am not a winger. That is the last position I would ever play.
Correct. Doesn't matter what you're built like for winger, you just have to be fast.
Fast. That's not me.
Now I need everybody to, directly after this race is done, look up Jonah Lomu highlights, and you'll see what I mean. You got a guy who, I think he was 6'5", 250 odd pounds, and they put him on the wing, and that's the speed position, way out on the edge of the field. And they whip the ball out to you, hoping that you can get in around the edge of their other backs and just go.
He was a literal cheat code in the rugby game that bore his name.
Yeah, oh yeah. He just like Bo Jackson. Picture Bo Jackson. Is he gonna? Yeah, he's gonna do what he wants. He's gonna do what he wants.
I'd say he was more of a cheat code than like Ken Griffey Jr. was in his game.
Yeah. John Lamu would not always rely on speed because he had a bit of a mean streak.
Oh.
And he would hurt you very badly if you came anywhere near him.
I'd say that on the scale of cheat codes, it goes Jonah Lumu, Bo Jackson, and then Ken Griffey. Because Griffey, at least you could just walk.
Yeah. Stevie Y up on that list for various NHL games. Not that he was the best, but somehow or other Stevie Y always ended up being the guy who could do the thing. Like whatever exploit there was in the game, Stevie Y would do it.
There was one NHL game that had an exploit that just any defenseman could take advantage of, which was kind of like terrible. It was basically all you had to do was get a face-off in the enemy zone, win the face-off, back to the point, and just one-time it. And it didn't matter what defenseman was one-timing it, it would go in. I had a 127 goal season with Eric Desjardins.
I remember playing, was it NHL 99, I think? And there was a weird glitch where you could do a wraparound. It wasn't really a wraparound, but you could basically very quickly pass to the guy that was ducking behind the net and then just use that guy to wrap around the net, get him into a certain point in the circle to either. This
Mauricio
worked
with
for
a bit of
either
spin.
side. So you could just, as long as he was hooking around the net behind it, and he came around and you got it between the dot in the circle and the edge of the circle, and then just hit a quick one-timer, it would go in like almost every time.
I may be exaggerating this number here, but I do believe that this exploit led to Joel Otto setting a record for most points in a single season in my timeline of NHL games, with like 300 points. Because he was the most reliable face-off taker on the Philadelphia Flyers, and I just decided to play as them. So I would put the fourth line out there. He would win the draw, send it back to the blue line, bam, goal, and that's just basically how he got every assist. I think I picked the Flyers because I felt the need to have Ron Hextall as my goalie for once.
That is fair.
Also, I was a big Legion of Doom fan. Eric Lindros, John LeClaire, Michael Renberg. Also, they had Rod Brindamore. Big fan of him as well.
Ooh, very nice.
And who else did I like on that team? Chris Gratton.
Monsieur Graton.
Eric Desjardins, Johnny Nienema, Chris Terrien. It's a good team. It's a good team.
Was. And they didn't win anything at all.
Back with Timo Ryder.
Get him, Timo. Get him.
He's moving up the field. Mauricio Delgado in the pits for a second time. Dropping down the order as a result. Of course, the worst exploit I think I've ever seen in a sports game that wasn't like a player being really good was the Minnesota Vikings in Game Day '98 just called a streak pass, instant 8 yards every time, instant 8 yards. Randy Moss in the slot, there is no corner back in the game that can guard him.
What was the arcade hockey game? NHL Hits?
Yep.
NHL Hits 20... it was a weird, they had a split year in the title. Hold on. NHL Hits... No, I don't think that's it. It was like a 2003/4 or something. It had a really weird title.
Jan Vasco is currently battling with Timo Ryder for position. He may not be able to actually see Ryder.
Anyway, there was an arcade NHL game back in the early mid 2000s that didn't seem to have an exploit. I just seemed to be better than everybody else. But the only exploit there was the face-off, which worked on a rock paper scissors type scenario. So if you picked, if you're the guy across from you picked paper and you picked scissors, you'd win, and you got a little kind of tip off ahead of time. It wasn't a long kind of tip off, but it was very quick, and you had to react immediately. And as long as you got the face off correct, you were basically winning the game.
Vasco continues to hold on against Davidson, and again, I don't know if they realize that this is a three-way fight with Timo Ryder, because Ryder is under the track. You cannot see him. Adam Koborowski off the track. Funniest game mechanic I think I've ever seen was NBA Live, the year they brought in the legend players. It's like Magic Johnson, George Gervin, Wilt Chamberlain, all that stuff. Each of the legends had a game mechanic. that would trigger and make them better, for whatever reason. And Larry Bird's was Larry is offended.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
the AI or the person you were playing elected to guard Larry Bird with a white player
Yeah.
for too long, it would activate Larry Bird is offended and put plus 10 to all of his offensive stats.
Disrespectful. I love the story about Larry Bird and Roger Sally, Robert Sally,
John Sally.
John Sally. There you go. And so like John Sally was like, I think he was a rookie that year. And they put him on Bird.
I think it was his second year, but yeah,
Was it
early in his career, young guy.
But Bird like, he's like, "What's up, Sal? No, you on me?" He's like, "Yeah, I got size on you, so I'm on you. You're not double teaming?" "No, man, no." And Bird was like, "Mouse in the house, and just like, I guess he torched Sally so bad.
Oh yeah, he like dunked over top of him and stuff, and he spent the rest of the game going, "John, you might want to ask for that double team."
And if you know Larry Bird doesn't dunk. Larry Bird couldn't jump over a piece of paper.
He was just out there making a point.
Man.
Not really sure why you would try to do the size matchup against Bird, honestly. Just doesn't seem to actually be the combination.
The theory being that he's so unathletic that he probably wouldn't be able to deal with somebody who is just much bigger than him. Problem is, Larry Bird's 6'9". You're gonna have to get like, I don't know, go into the future and have Kevin Durant show up. And have Kevin Durant be much better at defense than Kevin Durant is.
Yeah, Durant's not terribly good at defense. LeBron James would probably actually be your best bet.
Yup.
Before he started being lazy.
What do you mean?
And in fairness, lazy's not even the word. He's just old. He's just getting old.
He's 40.
I know. It's totally understandable.
The thing I like about LeBron James, to continue on the non-race commentary.
If you want lazy, it's James Harden's defense. Because when Harden wants to play defense, he's actually competent.
Oh God, don't even talk to me about James. I might as well be Draymond Green Harden. The thing I like about LeBron James is that his basketball IQ is so much higher than anyone else's. Doesn't matter if he's 40, he's still like what, top 3, top 5 at worst in the league still, and he's 40. And it's because he realizes he doesn't have to take 10 steps. 6 will do, maybe even 4.
There are a handful of players that I think have better basketball IQ than him, but they're all like what makes LeBron deadly is that he's got that basketball IQ and the physicality. Because everyone I can think of that's like a better basketball IQ guy is someone who didn't have great physicality.
Yeah.
Like a John Stockton.
Good old LeBron James. Maggle, who do you have winning the NHL, the NBA Stanley Cup?
Honestly, haven't been paying enough attention.
Me neither. But with Luka Doncic in LA, that seems to be working out pretty well.
It does seem to be working out pretty well.
Long.
My only question with the Lakers is that a lot of their supporting cast is kind of injury prone. So, like, there's always that chance.
That is true. But I think they traded most of that away. Oh my God, have you seen what has happened to the Mavericks after they traded Doncic?
Oh God, it's been bad.
Bro, they are going to forfeit the rest of the season.
Oh yeah, they're terrible.
No, they are going to forfeit the rest of the season because they are up against a hard cap hit, and everybody, they're so injured, they can only put 6 guys on a team, and you have to have like at least 8. Yeah. They don't have money. They don't have money to sign more dudes. And everybody's injured. It's going to be a wild, wild time.
I'm still very interested to know if these guys can actually see Timo Ryder that's around them. And like I just don't know.
Or can I be more interested if they can hear it?
If they can hear him, yes. Because he is 0.2 of a second behind Jan Vasco. He is between Jan Vasco and Jasper van der Vaart, and we just can't see him. Running down here to last 3 minutes. Thierolf leading the way pretty comfortably from Kovac and Van den Broek, Darnell, Vega, Catchville, Komorowski. I'd say the prototypes are pretty sealed. In the GTE category, it's Grot from Kazchuk, Basaraba, and then there's this battle for 4th place going on between Vasco, Ryder, Van der Vaart, Davidson, and then after that it's Ecot, Delgado, Foster, and Ua. They're pretty set. Here we go. Back on board with Timo Ryder.
Come for that ass. We're gonna steal the catalytic converter, bitch.
That is how close to Vasco he is.
We're gonna reach up in there, get you a catalytic converter. We'll sell that shit and replace the tires.
Timo Ryder taking the Undertaker gimmick very seriously.
Rest in peace.
We're talking Ministry of Darkness Undertaker at this point.
Timo's got that meth habit. He's going to fuel that meth habit by stealing catalytic converters from his race mates.
Boom.
I'm coming for you.
I really want to know if they can see him and hear him. I really want to know.
What is that sound? Is somebody trying to break into my car?
Jan, Jasper, Steve, you got to tell us in the comments down below. Did you guys know that Timo Ryder was here? I need to know.
Come for that ass. Literally.
Should be the last lap for these guys now. Or, well, I don't know if this is the start-finish line, because Sepang's got 2 different start-finish straights, and it depends on which one we're using.
What's this about Stepanik?
Sepang, sir. Sepang.
I prefer
Vadim Basaraba ring in 3rd place. Vadim, I'm assuming you are Matt69013 on Race App, because it does correspond to your results. 6th place at Monza. Jasper van der Vaart, 6th place there. Like I said, he has had an interesting season. Finishing 5th and 10th.
Michael, when are we going to see the return of the gun runner?
I'm told things about that, actually. Told things.
I like things.
Told things. Told that we may have a gun runner. We may have a firearm shipment.
Slava Ukraine.
Oh, Van der Vaart loses control.
Oh boy.
That is going to let Steve Davidson through. Should be able to rejoin ahead of Jeff Ecott in 7th place, though. Van der Vaart. That'll be a blue flag. Van der Vaart, you could be a little more cooperative. I'm just gonna say. There is your race winner, Tobias Thierolf, lapping Steve Davidson. He's got one corner to go until he gets his just desserts. Although he did get a hand from one of the GTE cars bopping Vandenbach off the road. And there it is. Tobias Thierolf, we barely saw you towards the end of the race, but you have won today's outing. You are now 3 for 3 in the series and have a commanding championship lead to the point where you're actually dropping your race win at Road America right now. Let this finish up, and I'll give a rundown of the championship standings. Come on, take us on board. If you're going to show us Timo, you got to take us on board. This side view is not doing anything for us.
Driver of the race, Timo Ryder, for sheer stick-to-itiveness and also
tunneling to the center of the earth.
He bribed us with all of the money he made stealing catalytic converters from everybody on the track.
Whoa, not all the money. He has a meth habit to feed, sir. There was meth involved. Can I pay for that meth with a Porsche muffler?
This is Barbarossa.
Vadim Basaraba with himself his first podium of the season.
I prefer it my way.
And there is Magic Kaszczuk picking up yet another second place. He has finished in second place in every single race. Thierolf wins from Kovac and Vandenbroek with Darnell, Vega, Kutachville, and Komorowski. Grot wins from Kaszczuk and Basaraba. Vasco in fourth. Timo Ryder's Journey to the Center of the Earth gets him a fifth place finish ahead of Steve Davidson, Jasper Van der Vaart, Jeff Ecott, and Mauricio Delgado. Andy Foster and Yanni Ua. We lost James Butler on the way. Right. By the way, Foster proving that you don't need speed. He beat Ua, who is 3 seconds a lap faster than him. So, there you go. Keep it clean, keep it on track, keep it consistent. All right, championship rundown. Tobias Thierolf leads the way with 90 points. That was with him dropping 35 points for the record. He is 16 points ahead of Janis Kovac, who's followed by 2 points by Rune Vandenbroek. Antonio Costa is 1 point further back, and then 10 points further back is Adam Komorowski. In the GTE category, Magic Kaszczuk's consistency in 3 second places have got him a championship lead of 10 points over Henrik Andreasen. And additionally, Andreasen's drop score is 0. Kaszczuk's is a second place at Road America, so he's got an advantage there. Christian Grot, who has won all the races he is bothered to attend, finds himself in third place, followed by Vadim Basaraba on 64 points and 59 points for Luciano Chazo, Jeff Ecott's on 58, Tomas Ibero 55, and Steve Davidson 55. So there's a good mix up there. In the Teams Championship, 217 points for Two Gasoline International. Vic Vega, Tobias Thierolf, and Henrik Andreasen leading the way. 186 points for the Canadian Pole 1.5. That is Magic Kaszczuk and Steve Davidson. 156 for Team SCB. That is Nicholas Campbell, Jeff Ecott, and Andy Darnell. R2E, that's Jasper Van der Vaart and Christian Grot. They are in fourth place on 132 points. And W2TF, is a kilometer. Adam Komorowski, Wilfredo Sevilla, and the yet to actually attend a race, JC Camano, in fifth place on 124 points. Byron, do you have anything final to say?
Go forth and create yourself a sandwich with a fine vinaigrette.